And I find that meditation always calms and relaxes and creates an opening energetically in my conversations with God. So today I'm going to be offering you all the opportunity to interact on your own level at in whatever way you would like, to visit with a guide or your higher self or somebody that has passed on that you miss, a loved one or a friend. And we all are grieving in our own ways. We are grieving for the population of people that have passed on because of this disease. But this particular meditation will allow you also just to relax and be inside yourself for the next period of time. At the end, we'll just do about 5 or 10 minutes of quiet, peaceful meditation. Just like at the end of a yoga class, you do the Shavasana, where you're quiet and close your eyes and just melt. So what I'd like you to do is to get comfortable. Sit in a comfortable chair with your back supported, your feet on the floor, your hands as comfortable as they can be in your lap. And let's just begin by taking a slow, relaxing breath to the count of 4. And hold that for a minute. And then release that slowly to the count of 4. And then let's take another slow breath to the count of 4. Hold that for a minute. And then release that to the count of 4. As you do this type of breathing, you release the heart from any stress. You calm your body, much different from doing any kind of active breathing, which only accelerates the heart. So let's take another breath and really pay attention to your breathing. Excuse me. And as you're doing this breath work, become aware of your feet on the floor. Feel yourself connecting down into the earth. And just imagine, wait a second. And just imagine that you're looking down at your feet now with your eyes closed. And just notice that you're standing on an old stone pathway. In a very ancient forest. And as you lift your head, you see this beautiful path before you. You feel safe and at peace in this surroundings. And the stone path gently slopes down under a canopy of old trees. And as you start walking down this path, you notice it's fall. And all the trees are in brilliant fall colors of reds, orange, yellows, and browns. It's magical feeling. And the ground is littered with leaves of all colors. And you become aware of the sound of your feet on the stone path, the crunching of the leaves underneath them, and the ease of movement that you have at this moment, letting go of all other thoughts allowing yourself just to be immersed. And the sound around you comforts you. You hear the birds singing. You can hear and see the squirrels running through the leaves. You can smell the earth and the leaves, and it feels very invigorating. And where you are looks beautiful, surrounds you in this feeling of beauty. And as you continue walking, a little further down the path, you see a clearing. The ground is thick green grass with scattered leaves from the woods. And you can start to smell the grass as well. And as you enter the clearing, you notice a bench under a tree, sitting by a calm stream of water. And you walk over and sit down on the bench. You close your eyes and feel the sun shining on you. Still aware of the leaves gently rolling by behind you, and the sound of the water rushing through the stream. All of these sounds are stimulating and yet very comforting. You take a deep breath, slow and relaxing, and feel the peace within your body. And as you look around, you notice a bridge that wasn't there before. Across the stream. On the other side of the bridge, you see a brilliant, bright light. And this beautiful orb of light is bright white, tinged with this beautiful pink aura. And at first you think it's the sun, but then it starts to dim a little, and you begin to see what it really is. You're so happy. And at first, you can feel this tremendous love coming from this light, almost overpowering, filling your heart, filling your body with the most amazing feeling of love. You invite this bright, beautiful light to cross the bridge and to come to you. And as it begins to move toward you, you realize it is someone that you recognize. They look beautiful, healthy, and happy. They have a familiar look to them of someone that you have been with before. After they cross the bridge, you embrace each other, taking in all that love and joy and warmth. And you sit on the bench, holding hands and looking at each other. And without words, you realize that they have a message for you. It just comes into your awareness without any effort. They also have a gift to give you, not in so many physical ways, but most likely in an energetic way. You feel completely safe and feel the love filling your body. And now it's time for them to go. So you hug goodbye and you watch them as they cross back over the bridge. You feel happy and at peace for the gift of this visit. You turn and start up the path back to where you came in. And you notice that it's spring now. The trees are all in full bloom. Wildflowers line the path with a light, sweet smell. You feel unburdened. You feel lighter, happier, and still humming with the feeling of love from your visit and the gift of the message to take with you. Then you see the clearing around ahead of you where your car is, and you feel energized by your surroundings, connected to nature and all that it has to offer. You reach your car and sit inside, close your eyes, and be aware of the seat beneath you. Feel your feet on the floor. Feel yourself grounded and calmed. Feel the joy and love that will remain with you from this visit as you go into the next few minutes of quiet, peaceful relaxation and meditation, all within yourself. Just keep breathing and relaxing. Okay. If you still can hear my voice, please take a moment, a couple of moments, and breathe into the body to re-energize your connection to this room you're in, bringing all the joy and love from your visit with you. Take a minute or 2 minutes to be comfortable. And when you feel comfortable, open your eyes again.
That was sensational. Absolutely beautiful. Wow.
Usually after this meditation, I open the floor for anyone who would like to share their experience, anything that they had happened that they want to talk about or share with everyone.
Carla, do you want to share yours, baby doll?
Yes, I do. So so in the meditation when Connie was bringing us through, I felt a sense of peace, but I also felt as I was grounding, I was sinking really deep into the earth. Like I think I'm still very deep into the earth, up to my waist.
Right, right.
Like my legs just feel very heavy, like I'm grounded, like really into the
Beautiful.
earth. And I haven't been that grounded into the earth in quite some time. When we were walking along, I kind of was there very quickly. So I was at my spirit guide very fast and just kind of hanging out. And it was beautiful because I felt the touch of my heart pressing in to my heart.
Uh-huh.
And it was like the touch was like a breath, and it was just like a couple of touches, but I felt it radiating throughout my body. And it was really beautiful. It was what I needed
How
to get
nice.
grounded and just to feel my presence coming back into me in all the uncertainty and all the chaos, and to be grounded and feel that earth. Like I'm in there up to my waist, and just like press in and just get that connection
How
flowing.
nice. How
Really
wonderful.
beautiful.
How beautiful.
Yes.
That sounds so nice, Carla.
It was wonderful. It was a beautiful gift. Beautiful gift.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad.
And
Okay.
Ellen, how was
My
it for you?
battery.
It was incredible, absolutely incredible. Connected beautifully with the earth. I remembered that path, and I remembered the stone walkway that we were walking through, and the chair under the tree that was like such a familiar experience.
Nice.
And I haven't seen my mom in a long, long time. And so she came across the bridge. And my mom, eccentric character. You could say I am too, but she was eccentric in her own way. Absolutely amazing. And it was as if she connected to when I was a little girl. And when I was a little girl, I guess I went through a period of time, majority of the time, feeling, I guess, sad and stepped back from everybody. And there was always a lot going on emotionally, energetically, that wasn't loving. So I guess I was quite an introvert and quite sad. And then it was as if my mom placed this crown on my head, almost like what you would see in the Roman crown, with the leaves, with some gold in there. And it was as if she had said, to step into my divine essence, you know, as a big girl, and to be and project who I'm meant to be with and then she's like, okay, now straighten up your back. Posture is very important for a young woman. And then I guess maturing into an essence of I guess a strong light to feel deserving and feel empowered in the sense of just projecting love. And then in the end, as if I felt the angels and my mom and everybody kind of doing like kisses, 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 kisses all over the place, because I didn't really feel my mom, my dad, I always felt that separation of I'm not getting really attention or love. And I just felt like infinite kisses all over me and lots of love. Kind of like what I say. I always say lots of love.
Yeah.
Well, I felt it tremendously, and it was so beautiful. And then I remembered a past life with me and Connie, and I remembered being in the goddess garden, and I remember playing with her like we were like sisters, and just being flirtatious and fun and playful and getting a little chills of just enjoying our femininity.
Yay. Yay.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it was just loving the love and the attention, because it was coming from a place of enjoying being who we were, you know.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
So wonderful. Thank you.
Yes. Excellent. Wonderful. I love it. Well, thank you, ladies, for inviting me to this. It was my pleasure. And I feel honored.
Thank you, Connie. Thank you for being a part of this with us.
You're welcome, honey.
Connie, what are some words of wisdom that you would give to us during this time of transformation, of shifting, of that energy that we can stay grounded in?
Well, this time right now is very, very third dimensional. Everybody's being anchored in the real grassroots of things: eating, home, family, and just getting back into and realizing how important our spirituality, the finer things of life, beauty, interaction with people, even though you might not see them, being able to Zoom and to have conversations and FaceTime with people so that you don't feel like you're missing out on things. But it's important to, like, we're in this together. I love when they say that. We're not together at all, though. So why could they say that? We're separated, but feeling together, even though we are separated, is the most important thing. That we're all in it, and we're all moving in this body or sea of consciousness that's elevated. And I mean, I know most people have heard about Sylvia Brown's book, when The End of Days, when she predicted in 2008 in that book that this pandemic would happen in 2020 and that this was coming. And I guess when people make predictions like that, they're not always so sure. I mean, the people around them are not always so sure that that's going to happen. But obviously this one did. So it's just a matter of keeping ourselves sane and in touch with ourselves, because it's all going to go through this transformational energy, just like these 22 days are going to be all about transformation. That's what this whole period of time is about, how we're transforming ourselves and how the earth is transforming. The resonance, the Schumann resonance, which measures the earth's vibration, has lowered from 7.5 to 7.1, which means it's even more difficult to ground and to stay anchored, because we're naturally lifting off the earth, ascension-wise. So it's something to be, definitely to be remarkable, that makes this a remarkable time, like the dolphins in the Venice canals, things like that. Really remarkable things going on.
So
Because
I'm sorry.
because there's nobody out there and running around, and we're all have to stay home and stay grounded.
When you had said that we shifted into the 7.1, it was as if, did you mean in the essence that we are, I guess, connecting more with the higher dimensions and
Allowing ourselves to, yes. Yes.
And that the veil is thinning, so we can be more in tune to the essence of all that is, be more in tune to that divine connection, to feeling and sensing that validation, that awareness, to and the needing to ground, because we do deal with the reality, even though it just feels so good to connect to the higher realms, because
Yes.
it's so light and delightful.
Exactly. Well, it's mostly because human consciousness is not in crazy land. We're all home and relaxed and calmer, that the Schumann resonance is not getting that usual vibrational consciousness from human beings. But the Schumann resonance is measured every single day. And it's been slowly over the last month or so, lowering and lowering, and getting us more and more able to move into the upper realms. And every year, at certain times of the year, the cosmic energy and the veils are much thinner. Easter and the holidays, the Passover holidays and Ramadan, is one of those times, which is right now, of course, kicking this all off. But we are also approaching Shavuot, which was the 100 days after Moses came down off the mountain, and Mary's Ascension Day. So we're tying all of these blessed events in May together. We're all blessed, that's for sure.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Connecting with you, I mean, I'm constantly full of chills. I mean, the emotion that I felt when I saw you, wow. But the essence of people understanding our connection with the other side, and that piece of being here and crossing over. I mean, can you share something about that?
Well, I think that when the veils, like you were talking about the veils being thinner, when the veils start to thin, spirit energy from the other dimension starts to move into the space just beyond our dimension. So we start to feel and see the shadows and the energy and the lights and the space beings too, all different, dimensional energies that are present start to come forward. And, most people, if they're not aware of something, if they're not in tune with something, they don't even notice it. But because we're so much more calmed and so much more relaxed now, we're much more aware of what's going on, much. And of course, we had the meteor shower and the full moon this week. Lots of phenomenon that we can tune into that affects our consciousness, for sure.
Some people are feeling headachy, or they're feeling, how can I say it, off balance, or dis-ease.
Dizzy.
Yeah, dizzy, or overly tired.
Yes.
Is that part of that us realigning to the new energy and connecting to those downloads?
Yes, and this is all part of the ascension process that we're already been in fifth dimension for the last 25 years. This is all part of all those symptoms. It just naturally, it's something that comes and goes, I think. But it's just naturally a way of our bodies humanly adapting to having full DNA strand, you know, and to reconnect to that. Yeah. Yeah.
I've been sharing, and I'm wondering if you're in that same alignment, that this is a very powerful time to see dark and light. And the essence of the light that's within us, and that the dark you can see more clearly, like in other words, in the political realm, people are sharing videos and sharing things, and it's like, see, this is what's really going on. and that we're supposed to step into that essence of, no, I'm not here to be dictated by you guys. And if I don't want a shot and I don't want to be controlled, if all of us say, and that those people get the, not a slap on the wrist, but be put into the place that they need to be, that it's out of control, that we step into who we're meant to be. Does that resonate with you, the light and the dark part?
Okay, it's not so much anymore that we have to look at either of those, that the light or the dark. It's the gray in between that is insidious, that sneaks into us. It's like fear, that it doesn't seem normal for us to be fearless, but it's that gray area in the center that we're now trying to diminish, and the dark will go with it. And it'll just be the light left. Yeah.
So the best is yet to come, right?
The best is yet to come, and babe, won't it be fine?
Yes. Fabulous.
Yeah.
Now you help people who are grieving. You've done beautiful things with that. Can you share a little insight about that?
Yeah, well, it's not so much that I help them, the people that are still in body. I help the ones that are out of body to communicate to the ones that are still here, that are left behind. Yeah, because they come, they talk, they grieve themselves from not having a body anymore. So it's interesting. The out of the body group definitely misses their physical existence, and it just reminds them, being so close to us and able to communicate to us, it just reminds them of what their existence was and what they have to clear karmically and what they came to experience, on both sides. Everything. You just become everything.
Hi, Connie. How are you, darling?
I'm good. How are you?
Blessings to you. Thank you for that beautiful exercise. It's nice to be a participant instead of doing the exercises, because
Yes.
that's what I usually do. But I got to meet my mom, and it was a beautiful Mother's Day present from her to me. So,
Oh, how wonderful.
so thank you for that.
How beautiful.
And
Yay.
and you remind me of some of the exemplars and mentors that I was around, especially in the 80s when I was learning numerology.
Oh.
And I was around some very, very, very top people. Dr. Juno Jordan, who was 100 years old when she spoke, and who was and is the sort of like the godmother of numerology of the 20th century. I was privileged
Wow.
to meet her, as well as other people. And you're talking about out-of-body experiences. I lived in Brazil for 8 years, and I was around some very top people. A man called Waldo Vieira, who had a book like the Bible that was given to all the governments all over the world about out-of-body experiences. So there's a lot going on that we don't know.
Yeah.
As
Yes,
always.
exactly.
And
there's so much going on.
I know, darling. And do you feel that it's all about really us coming from that place of love and non-judgment? Because when we come from that place, that's when we're able to connect, as you say, to that spirit of energy, which I feel is the no space, no time continuum.
Uh,
So when you're coming from that place, if you all of a sudden go to nature and there's a lake or a brook and you look in the water, all of a sudden you're doing something called scrying.
uh-huh.
And in scrying, it connects you with other worlds and other vibrations and energies, correct?
Right, right. Like divination, yes.
Exactly. And people like Nostradamus did scrying.
Yes.
And H.G. Wells and all of these authors and beings and scientists in their own way. In their own way.
Yes.
You remind me of I was privileged to meet and hear Dr. Elizabeth Kubler-Ross
Ah, yes.
of Death and Dying
Yes.
here in New York City at the St. John the Divine. She gave an amazing talk.
How wonderful.
And then after that, I had the experience of the butterfly myself with my mom's second husband.
Huh.
As the coffin was being put into the crypt outside, an amazing monarch butterfly out of nowhere just came out of the area of where the coffin was being put outside, out of that space, and came right up to my mom and just was flying and fluttering its wings, looking at her and me and my sister, and then went off into the sunset. And then I realized not only was his spirit was there, but
Yep.
Elizabeth Kubler-Ross was also there because she spoke a lot about butterfly.
Ah, yes.
And transformation.
Wonderful, wonderful.
So can you tell us a little bit more about, I think it would be helpful for us to understand a little bit more of your spiritual growth, and when did you start recognizing that there was something more to you and you were different than the other kids and the people around you?
It was my 4th grade teacher.
There you go, darling.
When I had my first spontaneous past life experience.
Yes.
Of going to Italy, to Venice. And she said, "Oh, you used to live in Italy?" I said, "Sure, but I didn't mean in this lifetime, of course." So she sent me to the psychiatrist, of course. She's nuts. She's crazy. So that began the whole process, I guess, of me understanding that there's so many different dimensional energies, present and past, future, present, all together, and then I guess I started doing TM 35 years ago, and that really helped a lot.
But darling, you were in 4th grade.
Yeah.
So being in 4th grade, and where was that? In what city, town,
No, I
country?
was in Great Neck.
In Great Neck,
Long Island.
Long
Yeah.
Island. So
Yes.
4th grade, Great Neck, and you had that experience.
Yeah.
Don't you feel that experience started creating a whole different Connie?
Well, I started, I guess, with the fairies back when I was 3, 4, 5 years old.
How beautiful.
And I would go to this beautiful park in Great Neck, near where we lived, and I would just play and dance and be with them, and I just thought everybody did that,
And
but of course,
and the other kids, how did you get along with the other kids around you in Great Neck at that time? Were they mostly Italian, Irish, or what of the neighborhood?
I never met Italian or Irish person until I moved away from there.
Okay.
They were mainly, I guess, Jewish people that I
4th
lived
grade.
around.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. mostly.
And that's where you got your Kabbalistic teachings? Or you kind of like came across
No.
the Jewish traditions then?
No, yeah, I guess the first boyfriend I had was David Schwartz, and went to a bar mitzvah when he was bar mitzvahed. And I didn't even realize that there were other like religious type people out in the world till I moved here to Dix Hills. I still live in Huntington, but I moved to Dix Hills, and I came home from my first day at school, and I said, I met a whole new group of people, different religion. And my mother says, what religion? I said, Italian. She got a laugh out of that. Yeah. I was kind of, I guess, sheltered. I don't know.
In fourth grade, back to fourth grade, because I think it's very important for people to know this, especially today and with their own children. Did your parents understand? Did the other children understand? Did you share with them your stories of fairies and butterflies in those worlds, or was that your own secret?
Yeah, that was definitely me, just me.
And that was your own secret that you treasured and you held.
Yeah. Well, my mother always said I lived in a different world, and she was right.
Yes.
I live in a different world.
Do you feel if you were having that experience today in 2020 and you were a child of 4 years old, do you think it would be different now than then?
Well, I do work with children.
Oh, how beautiful. That
have experiences. Like I have a 5-year-old that I'm working with that was on the Long Island Psychic show, Teresa Caputo's show, the 5-year-old. And she sees, ghosts. She sees her grandmother and grandfather are out on the playground when she goes to school. So I know that freaks not so much her mother out because she's very open, but I know that freaks out other people though.
Do you feel that, as you say, the resonance is decreasing? And thank you for sharing that. Do you feel that the new human is being born, sort of like we're awakening to a whole different cosmic heritage within ourselves, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual?
Definitely. Yeah. Realizing that. And we're realizing our animal side too, realizing that we all have that connection internally to the animal realm, the insect realm, the everything realm. We're connected to everything.
Is that your shamanistic nature, darling?
I would say, yeah.
Uh-huh.
I would say, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's for us to understand that we can shape shift into those animals.
Or we share their energy.
Or the fact that because my playground is Central Park here in New York, and I go off and I start playing with the birds because I love the bird sounds and all the different energies there, as well as the trees and the plants, and everything comes alive and starts talking to you, correct?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you're open to that consciousness, to the energy, everything communicates. The whole universe communicates.
And how do you feel that we can communicate even better with all the expertise and experiences that you've had, darling?
Becoming still. Becoming still. We're not still.
You mean, and is that the peace within our hearts?
It's the peacefulness, yes. By becoming still, we can hear. You can hear the earth's movement. You can feel the movement within the earth, inside it, as we were just talking about the Schumann resonance. And you can feel the movement of the tides and the earth. Everything communicates.
And also
being one with all that is.
Yeah. but also chanting and singing and listening to music helps as well, doesn't it?
Well, I like singing.
There you go.
Personally. Yeah.
Yes, I love your little ditty that you sang there. Can you sing us something else?
What? What little ditty?
That little ditty, that little when you sang a little bit.
Oh.
Yes.
I don't even remember.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's.
But classical music, because the composers, wouldn't you say that they had that experience with music where they were able to connect with the musical spheres of the universe, and they themselves were able to channel that and make the symphonies that they did? Beethoven, Schumann, Mozart, Chopin.
Download that. Yeah.
And that we can do the same thing, darling. And we are.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. That's why there's so much music around now.
It's phenomenal when you see a 3-year-old play the piano or different things that people are becoming more aware of.
Extraordinary, yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that they're coming through from different timelines. So normally people aren't comfortable with past lives and things of that nature. But when you see a child or you see different things happen, it's like there's no human way of in this realm being taught that. So it had to come from somewhere.
Yeah, right. And yes, that's a form of channeling. Yeah. Nice, huh?
Fabulous.
Yeah, I think too, like one of the things, when we talk about being still, and I learned this from Connie and some of my other teachers, was being still sometimes would just be to go out and touch a tree, feel the tree, and just close your eyes and just allow your senses. We've become desensitized where we don't even feel our senses as much. So in that stillness, when you touch that tree or you feel the leaf, just close your eyes and breathe into that. When you touch the water and you put your feet in the water, close your eyes and feel and allow your body to feel and connect into what it is that you're seeing, that you're feeling, and be present into that. And that's one of my biggest learning experiences with you, Connie, was to how to be still and to know that as I'm still and I touch that tree and I connect to that tree and I feel the heartbeat of that tree.
Yeah.
It's me. And it's not only me, but it's the tree and it's us together. And I remember after Connie had taught me about being still, and I was experiencing, and then you hear it from other people, and you hear from other people. I took my cousin and I said, gee, I'm like, you need to hug a tree and feel the tree. And she was like, what? And she put her arms around the tree and she was like, I feel the heartbeat of the tree. And when you begin to get that perspective and you understand that we are connected, then it changes the way you see life and the way you feel life. And then it opens you up to those higher realms. It opens you up more to source, spirit, God, all that is.
Definitely.
That was big for me, especially when I even held that first amethyst that Connie put into my hand. She was like, here, you need this. I was like, okay. I had friends that had crystals all the time, but I never touched it the way she taught me to touch that crystal.
Right. Tune in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If I can say something about trees, the American Indians, what they do is when they're feeling ill, sick, or out of sorts, out of balance, misaligned, they go to the trees and they put their back to the tree, and then they ask the tree for a healing and empowerment. And then they close their eyes and the tree then helps them align.
Mm-hmm. See, so we have all these gifts around us, in us and through us, that is now the time that, right, we should be tapping into all of this. But I think too, for people who are just starting to get in touch with their God essence, their spirituality, it's easy. We sometimes make things more out than they need to be, and it's easy. And Connie was instrumental in teaching me the simplicity and the ease of it. So, thank
You're
you,
so
Connie.
cute. Remind you to remember things like that,
Mm-hmm.
that you knew.
Right.
Yes.
And what you just say, Connie, is we already know, don't we? We're just
Yes.
awakening. Is that
Exactly.
correct?
Exactly. Remembering.
We're remembering.
Yes.
Would you be
Because-
open to channel for us, Connie?
Pretty much as you've been asking me questions, that's what I've been doing. Yeah, because spirit always just comes through and answers, you know? So you'd have to figure out what you want to know.
So you teach others to connect to your own divine divinity.
Yes.
And so that's the most important aspect of the here and the now, is as the VL thins, that for all of us to become aware, more conscious, and to delve into a piece of them that they weren't aware of.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Very well put, Ellen.
Thank you. So could you talk more about what you taught Carla and what you teach others? Because I think everybody's excited to evolve with your insight.
Oh. Well, I guess it's more of a personal thing when you're with somebody and you're sensing their need, and you're sensing, somehow you're sensing their own consciousness inside them. It's just the fact that spirit just comes in, and of course the feeling is that he abhors a vacuum, and that vacuum is sometimes when someone isn't convinced that spirit's real. So you move into that vacuum, figure out why, and then start to fill it up and make them a believer.
So that vacuum is within itself, right?
Yes,
It's that
exactly.
emptiness, that void that you're.
I'm a believer. Yay. Yes, we're all going to a party. That's all the spirit wants me to say. We're all going to a party. We've all been invited, and it's just a matter of us making sure that we believe the invitation is there. So you ready to go?
Ready to go where? Oh,
To the
I
party.
played there all the time. I think
the party.
everybody on this panel so far is just helping others to become more in alignment and aware of their invitation and how to connect to that invitation. And that's why we were so blessed to have you come on, in the essence of having spirit say it from your perspective, that maybe people can hear it with a stronger clarity and understanding.
Oh, that's so cute. I have this woman ask me one day, after we talked for a few minutes and spirit spoke to her, she looked at me and she said, I can feel you're over there and I'm over here, and we're not in the same place. So I looked at her and I was like blown away by her perception. So I said, well, come on over. Come on. She said, I want to. It's hard for people to let go of their habits, though, of being anchored in that third dimensional energy. And it's safe there. So you have to teeter-totter on the edge and jump.
Yeah, dimensional aspects. So when somebody feels lonely or lost because they lost somebody, how do you help them to connect to that soul?
Oh, I tell them that they're very powerful and that they can, in their own way, connect. They don't need a medium or somebody else to do that. And first of all, the person that's passed on doesn't want to talk to me. They want to talk to that person. They want to connect to that person. So what I usually do is I tell them close their eyes, and that person's going to put some energy into their heart or their throat chakra or whatever. And as soon as they start to feel that, they believe. You know?
Yeah.
And they
So-
realize they realize that their loved one has sent them a dime. When they find a dime, then that's their uncle or their mother or whatever. Or when they see a butterfly, or when they see a cardinal, or when they're in a dream state and their loved one comes in the dream state and talks to them, that they can communicate themselves. And that's what the person that's passed on really wants contact with them.
I think it was so important today for you to be here, because I believe today's Carla's birthday, isn't it, Carla?
Yes.
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 You're to her, you are a beautiful gift of light.
Aw.
And
That's nice. Who was the gentleman that was talking before?
that is Julian Michael, who's a very talented numerologist, astrologer, and very gifted individual. Yeah.
I'm here, Connie. How are you,
Yeah.
darling?
Oh,
Blessings to you.
Good. Thank you. I heard you talking. I kept saying, I have to ask him what his name is. Nice
Julian.
to talk to you, Julianne.
Thank you, darling. Thank you. Blessings to you and your journey and all that you're doing on all the different levels and frequencies. And I love what you just said, that we don't really need the medium. The person themselves is a medium, but sometimes they do need the guidance of a medium just to show them how they themselves can do it.
Yes, exactly.
That
Exactly.
reassurance.
Because they don't believe it at first. And then after a while, I think they convince themselves.
Do you know the work of a Dr. Raymond Moody?
Yes.
And
Sure.
I was blessed to meet him as well and hear his lectures.
Oh, how nice.
And
Nice.
and I was totally blown away by his book called Reunions.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Which I have right now.
Oh, beautiful.
And I was talking about this book a number of days ago, and I thought it was going to change the world. I read it. I brought it to Brazil. I thought it was going to change the world because it talks about mirror magic.
Oh.
And it talks about how mirrors were used in the times of the ancients, especially in Greece, in Egypt, in China, to connect with other realms.
Yeah.
And people who have passed.
Yes, like doorways.
Exactly, that mirrors were doorways. And what's interesting is that in the Harry Potter movies,
in the
Harry
second
Potter,
movie,
Harry Potter sees his parents through the mirrors.
Yes, exactly.
Because the woman who wrote Harry Potter, she spent time in the oracles of Greece up in the northwest, which was quite fascinating, and she got the whole download of what is and what isn't.
How cool.
And that again is another vehicle of scrying, as well as connecting with spirit using objects.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. We used to sell in the store I worked in, we used to sell the Ouija board,
Yes.
And people, it's interesting that Milton Bradley made that game. Reproduced it, in bulk, in mass, like it was a game. And I used to tell people, this is not a game. This brings in all sorts of spirits from everywhere.
That's true.
You got to be careful with this thing.
That's
and
true.
People would act like it was like a kid's toy.
Uh-huh.
But amazing the amount of different spirit energies that hang around Ouija boards.
Now, can you share about connecting to the highest of vibrations? Because it's very important to not open doorways to lower vibration and bring negative energy in, because there is positive and negative. So to always stay in a safe, higher vibration, because I think that's what scares people is, you know, God forbid a lower vibration comes in and they can step in. And there are so many things, you know, between walk-ins and things like that, that we want to stay clear, stay clearly connected. So can you give a little insight on that?
Okay, well, first of all, vibrationally, we attract to us what we need to learn. So if the darkness is there and it's rearing its head, you're attracting it. You don't necessarily have to experience the harshness of that, or you can just laugh at it, you know? like Buddha laughed at Mara, you know?
I think that people are, like in horror movies, afraid of spirits because they think spirits can hurt us. I don't believe that to be true.
They're not here to hurt us.
No.
No.
Can you say something about Buddha laughing at Mara? Who was Mara?
He was a dark spirit that came, and Buddha invited him in to have tea, and they, you know, think that he, like Satan offered Christ the world if he would just follow him. Mara offered to Buddha, if he would give up his enlightenment, offered him all sorts of riches, and he didn't want any of it, you know. So the darkness is just part of us. It's not part of spirit, that's for sure.
So basically what you're saying is, and it's true, because the ancients say, you know, laugh at the darkness, at the evil, laugh at your mistakes. You
Exactly.
know,
Exactly.
Have a sense of humor.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
you can see that amongst the avatars that are alive, like I call them avatars that are alive, like the Dalai Lama, who has an amazing sense of humor.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
An amazing sense of humor. So you can see that when you have that humor on that level, you realize that it's all a play.
Yes, exactly.
And as Shakespeare said, it's all a stage. The world is a stage.
Yep, exactly. And we're in the middle of this big drama
right now.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
If we're afraid of it, then it's going to take us for a ride.
Exactly.
And if not, then we'll figure out and understand exactly what it is and what
I'll be right out.
Deserve to do to move forward instead of taking this along with us.
Yes, exactly, exactly. Well, I have a gentleman waiting for me.
Wonderful.
And I have to get off. So
can we sing Carla a happy birthday very quickly?
Certainly.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday
to you.
Happy
birthday, dear Carla.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you.
Thank
Thank you, ladies.
Aww.
Thank you, ladies. God bless.
Thank you,
bless.
Connie. Thank you. Thank you.
Mwah. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Connie, is there one thing that maybe you can say before you leave about staying in the light, staying in the positive, attracting more positive?
Keep a sense of humor. Bye.
We love
Bye.
you.
Thank you, Connie.
Okay, you're welcome.
Wow, that was beautiful. Thank you for singing to me, everybody. Julie.
Happy
Why
birthday
not?
blessings, baby doll. Happy birthday.
Thank you,
blessings.
thank you.
Happy birthday.
We
Yeah,
we did go live on Facebook about 10 minutes in, you know,
Yeah.
and so we are live on Facebook. And today was a beautiful day on so many levels. And I hope in the simplicity of it all that we all can understand that God is within us, right? And it's in the simpleness of being still that we can hear and receive the messages that we need. And it's also in that simplicity that we can overcome those shadows and overcome that darkness that's around us in that simplicity. So I hope in the simplicity of Connie and all that she is, you know, she's so simple, but yet so multidimensional, right?
Phenomenal. So
And
phenomenal.
in that, you know, her teachings are so like, you have that power. And everybody on our panel has been saying the same messages in different tones and in different ways and in different levels. So, you know, the mission is coming across, and somebody who needs to hear one from another is hearing what they need, but they all sing the same music of love, light, peace, and joy, and to have fun, and to know that we are that divine essence, but we just need to be still, touch, feel. Our sense is different.
Yeah, that was exquisite. Julian, would you do us the honor of a meditational prayer close?
Oh, I feel that Carla, the birthday girl. She's the birthday girl that just went into a very powerful cycle right now of the 8 energy. I'm giving the beacon, the beacon of light, the beacon of power, the beacon of love, the beacon of the infinite to her.
Oh, Julian, I was hoping that you would do this honor. Okay. All right. All right. So everybody who's with me today and celebrating the day of the 8 and the birth, this is not only about my power and me stepping into the newness of transformation. This is about all of us. So together we rise, together we step into our power. You know, my birthday, I always considered it to be the new year because it's my birthday, you know? So inside of that, together today, we all will rise and we all will step into our power. So I would like everyone to close their eyes with me and just feel yourself connecting down to Mother Earth. Feel roots connecting from your feet down into Mother Earth. At the top of your head, see and look and feel Christ's light energy, Holy Spirit, Saint Germain, the angels of the 4 directions, and your I am presence flowing into you, moving around you and through you, down into the heart of Mother Earth. And as Mother Earth's energy rises up into your feet, into your legs, into your arms, into your head, and out the top of your head, feel the dance of both masculine and feminine energy coming into full balance. Feel your I am presence waking up, and know that I am in my power at this moment, now and forever. I hear truth, I know truth, I see truth, I feel truth. I am the truth walking in the light of love. Take a deep breath and feel your cells recharging. Feel your body connecting to all that is. Feel the dance of the newness of your I am, of your knowingness, emerging through, in, through, and around you. And know that as you are emerging into your new being, into all of who you are, the environment around you changes, and you now, in your silence and in your love, empower those around you, and there is a ripple effect going throughout the world. This 22 days is more than just 22 days of our transformation. It is the 22 days of transformation for all of humanity. We are light workers, and everyone that's been here and everyone that watches these videos and everyone that sees a glimpse we know now that we are part of the bigger. We are part of the bigger love that lies within each and every one of us, the I am presence of God and all that is. For you and I are one and the same, but yet we are different on different paths. But yet we bring to the table light, love, peace, and joy, and that ripple effect. So see your family in Italy, see your friends abroad, and know that as you step into your I am and you send them love, they too step into theirs, and together we rise, and together we change, and together we are strong, and we are love. And as you look at your child or your cousin or your family member who may be alone and frightened, and you stand into that I am presence and you send them love, know in your I am of all of who you are, that they are feeling your love and you are helping to strengthen them into their I am presence by your commitment to change, by your love, and by the grace of God and all that is that flows through you and around you at every moment of every day. And there is not one moment that we are not connected, but we are always connected. There may be a thought that we're disconnected, but that is not of the truth of the light. So immediately bring yourself back by simply saying, I am, or hum your own tone of your own music. We all have our own voice, our own music, and our own heart song. This is one of your greatest powers. So use your I am in all that you are. Blessings to everybody, and thank you for today and all days and the coming of the newness that is bestowed before us. Namaste. I see the God in you as you see the God in me. May peace reign on the earth and in all hearts, across all nations, now and forever. And so be it, in the great I am.
You are exquisite. I adore you, Princess. Thank you for sharing this journey with me. You are a doll baby. Thank you, Julian, for all your love and input. I cherish everybody who's listening. I'm in infinite gratitude to everyone. Have the most magnificent day, Carla. We love you.
Thank you, Alan. Thank you for sharing this journey. Julian, thank you for sharing this journey as well. Thank you, everybody out there that is sharing this journey with us and all the light workers who have stepped forward. We celebrate you and we say thank you. Thank you for this and thank you for being a part of something spectacular and beyond our imagination. Thank you, Ellen. Thank you, Julian. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful day.
You too, Princess.
Okay, I stopped the live stream.
Oh, okay.
All right. Thank you, Ellen.
I adore you, Princess. What are you going to do today?
Actually, I still have to make a couple of phone calls. You know, what is that called? Unemployment.
Gotcha.
Things I don't want to do, you know.
Yeah.
But I still have to make a couple of phone calls, and then I'm just going to take Mike and hang out and hug him up, and that's it. And just, you know, maybe run around the backyard and sing and dance.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I adore you, baby doll.
I adore you too. This has been a spectacular journey that we're all on, you know, and stepping into it and realizing that, you know, Ellen, with what we set out in the short amount of time that we set out to do it and it going this fast, you know, we're not only online, right? So we're touching people, but this is something that's going to be there forever. And everybody that's here and everybody that's joining is a part of history forever.
Without a doubt. We're definitely putting
so,
a beautiful imprint into the earth, into the energy, into all that is. So, yes.
Right. So we're, you know, we might have been, you know, some of us, you know, all the healers that are in this group and everybody that's in this group, you know, they may have been shy to step out like you, like I, and they made an imprint. They made a choice whether, you know, to be the force for good.
Yes.
So that's pretty powerful stuff.
Fabulous, baby doll.
You know?
Love you.
All right. Love you too. I'll talk to you later. Nicole is going to come on. I have to talk to her after 3 o'clock. She's a little nervous. She's a sound healer. She's an alchemist,
Okay.
but she's a little nervous. And it's in her humbleness that she's nervous.
Okay.
So I'll talk to her later and then reel her in.
Okay. Anything I could do to help, I'm here. Okay.
And tomorrow would be her birthday.
Oh, wow. That's right.
On the 9th. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So powerful birthdays coming through. But all right, I will talk to you later.
All right, gorgeous.
All right, see you later. Bye.
Bye.